How y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm recovering from my second Thanksgiving. That was yesterday. Cleaning the house up. Had a lot of leftover food. I've been making a pot pie, a turkey pot pie from the leftovers. It usually turns out pretty well. But I was just watching or checking out the this whole thing on Trent Reznor. It's kind of depressing. Um, I love this. I'm about to depart, told the Hollywood Reporter in a new interview. We don't need the arrogance of the billionaire class to feel like they could come in and solve everything. I've found it's just such a toxic environment. For my mental health, I need to tune out. I don't feel good being there anymore. Just delete your stupid account then. Just delete your stupid account. Like why do you have to tell people that you're doing this? And I do have to point out the fact that it's very rich hearing from a guy that's worth an estimated $80 million. We don't need to have a billionaire class telling us what to do. And it's like, yeah, but you rich people tell us what to do all the time. Like let's be real. Trent Reznor is closer to Elon Musk than I will ever be to Trent Reznor. And I mean, I have a very high paying job. I have a job that most people wouldn't want to do. I have a job that requires a significant amount of experience and qualifications and so on. I have 3 engineering degrees. I make more money sitting in a hotel room because of a delay on an industrial site in a single day than the average person will make in America in a week, working at a factory or something. And even I just don't go around going, these out of work coal miners, what the hell do they know? They should learn to program. And it's like, I don't know. It's just depressing to me because it's like, I remember this guy when Pretty Hate Machine came out. That was such a huge, crazy album. It was just like, it blew me away because the lyrics, the sound was very, very unique. It seemed like it came out of nowhere. And then the follow up, what was that? Downward Spiral. That one was just crazy. The Downward Spiral, and I mean, he took on everything. Fuck the record industry, the fuck the government, fuck religion, fuck all that shit you believe in, and I don't know. It was just absolutely amazing to me. Like it was just something completely different than anything on the radio. And it was barely any of his songs got played on the radio because you had to edit them so much just to get them onto the air. And I still think he's an incredibly talented guy. I like his soundtrack work is amazing. But it's like I don't know how you go from this super edgy guy to coming off like a Karen in a HOA. You've ever been in an HOA when you have that one old lady that shows up and bitches about everything. And it's just, God damn it, you're dragging this whole thing out. I'm simply here to make sure that we don't pass any stupid rules that fuck me over. Go away. Just shut up and go away. I can only assume that this is because he lives in Beverly Hills. Like every person that I've ever known, like in my job as an engineer, there's a lot of people don't realize this. Southern California is basically funded and maintained through the oil and gas industry. There are oil rigs throughout all of LA. If you ever go to some of these older buildings, you can't get into the ground floor. You have to go up to the first floor or the second floor because that's where everything is. And that's because the first floor, there's a massive oil well there. If you didn't have any of the buildings in LA, it would look like West Texas, where it's just oil pumps for miles and miles and miles. So I have to go there all the flipping time. And some of my coworkers have ended up staying there, gotten jobs locally and all, and they all end up becoming warped like this. Where I don't know what it is about Southern California. Everybody thinks the world revolves around them and stuff. It's just, I just don't get it. It's just like just if you're going to if you're going to like stop using Twitter, just stop using Twitter. I'm just Yeah, this guy's always been fighting with his studios and stuff. You know what was very interesting to me? Like when I first saw him live, the opening band was Marilyn Manson. This was before Marilyn Manson like blew up as well. So like, I'm sure everyone's heard about how like there's been a lot of controversy with Marilyn Manson over sexual allegations and stuff. Yeah, all these guys are from Ohio. It's funny to me. Let's see, Columbine massacre. More people being amused. Yeah, so all these former fiancés and stuff came out and accusing him of being abusive and stuff like a decade later. And I don't think it really went anywhere. And I think the reason it never really went anywhere is because you're hooking up with Marilyn Manson. Like, you're not hooking up with Ron Howard. Nobody is surprised if Marilyn Manson is like this creepy, weird, messed up person. And I think they ended up doing like I think they ended up doing a what do you call it? Probably a documentary or whatever on Netflix or whatnot. And it's like I don't think it really went anywhere because it's like nobody would be surprised if Marilyn Manson is a weirdo sex pest and shit. But what was interesting to me because I did follow Trent Reznor on Twitter before he made his epically one man stand against I guess social media. Like he was very very quiet about the allegations against Marilyn Manson, even though like anybody else in the record industry and stuff that ever had an allegation made against them, Trent Reznor was very very fast to come out with like just pan the person and shit. And I firmly believe the entire reason that he kept his mouth shut is because he has a shitload of dirt on Marilyn Manson. They toured together for a number of tours over the years. So I'm sure he's seen plenty of shit involving Marilyn Manson. And I think the same thing is true for Trent Reznor. I think Marilyn Manson has seen Trent Reznor do a lot of questionable legality shit. Like, I don't believe for a moment that on every single tour Trent Reznor was on, especially when he was doing a lot of heavy drugs and alcohol when he was younger, I don't believe for a fucking moment that every single one of his sexual liaisons while on tour would come close to, not every single one would come close to falling within the legal definition of having full permission or what have you, like all in the up and up. So I think that's why he was really quiet about it and all. But it's just, I don't know. It's just a young Trent Reznor would beat the crap out of an older Trent Reznor, or at the very least would have written a song ripping into him about how overly out of touch and like he's everything that he hated when he first became an artist. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. I don't know. I still think he's an amazing talent. I enter, I'm going back and listening to a lot of music ever since I got my hearing back. I will say this. Oh my goodness. Early night or like Nine Inch Nails does not age well at all. It could be because I don't have full hearing. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm not hearing it right, but it has not aged well at all. It's not a very timeless kind of music, I would argue. It's like I'm glad he's clean and all, but it's just like they live in Los Angeles. That's why he's messed up in the head. Everybody I know that has ever moved to LA has just turned into a farce of what they once were. LA is just a messed up, crazy place. I love how people act like LA is very, very liberal and all. I will say this right now. I've worked all over the world, and I've worked in some of the poorest countries on the planet. and some of the richest countries on the planet. LA is amazing to me how people can just simply ignore brutal human suffering right in front of them every freaking day and not do anything about it, not do a thing about it. It's amazing to me. People in LA make New Yorkers look like saints, like look like they are social workers. Because if you compare how the average New Yorker reacts to homeless people compared to people in LA, it's unreal. It's unreal. And Trent trying to act like he's making a grand stand against like these out of touch evil billionaires. It's like, dude, you're worth $80 million. Don't act like you're a man of the freaking people, dude. Like, because you're not. You're absolutely not. I guarantee you, if I showed up in my two-door 2006 old GMC Canyon, and if I parked it on the street that his house is on, and I tried to sleep in the cab of my truck, I guarantee you the cops would be there in a heartbeat. He would call the cops to get my ass stomped. Just like it would happen if it was Elon Musk. Like, guy's super rich. He's out of touch. He's super rich and all. And it's so silly to me. I don't understand this at all. Like, he's like, oh, I can't handle this. The dude, again, I used to follow his Twitter. Like, you could not say anything about Trent Reznor on Twitter without legions of his fans just going nuts on your ass. He had the largest hug box of anyone I've ever seen on Twitter. And it's not like he can't block people. He can't mute people. And he's a prime example of somebody where I'm like, I don't understand why you're running your own Twitter account. Nobody should run. Anybody who has a business or whatever, nobody should run their own Twitter account under their own name. You just should. This is the entire reason why the PR industry exists. It's so silly to me. But for these people that do it, it's because they need to have their ego stroked and shit. Like, I'll be real with you. I think the whole reason he doesn't like Elon Musk is because it's a mirror being shoved into his face. That's the real thing about all these people that are upset and they're all threatening to leave Twitter. It's not like their experience on Twitter has changed in any way, shape, or form. They just don't like the mirror of somebody rich and powerful getting to say and do stuff on social media because they're the ones that are used to just having that power to do that. I don't know. It's just depressing to me because I just remember this guy being so influential to me as a young man, and now he's a joke. I mean, at least I still have Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash never became a clown. Johnny Cash is pretty badass. In fact, I think I'll listen to that Johnny Cash song, "Hurt," his cover of Trent Reznor's "Hurt," because it's better than the original. But anywho, I digress. I'm done rambling. I hope you all are doing well, and I hope you're getting ready for Christmas. I know I'm trying to.